make sure we fulfill the expectations. I have one wild story.
All right.
This one's gonna take a minute.
Let's see the lore. Let's hear the lore.
All right, this one I gotta open repressed memories because this one I try and forget, but I cannot forget no matter how hard I try. Okay, so let's do some backstory to this. I had to have been like 22, 23. I think this happened maybe late 2018. Definitely before mid-2019. I was with my ex-girlfriend at the time. I lived at her parents' house. And I was unemployed. I was a loser. I still paid, threw a couple hundreds here and there, but I didn't have a job. You're a man in a house, you don't got a job, especially a Hispanic household. You kind of look like a piece of shit. Which I was. I mean, I was lazy back then. So her dad was very religious. Head of the church. Well, not head of the church, but like he was involved in a lot of the events and shit. I was always going to quinceañera every weekend because some person's daughter turned 15 or something wild like that. So yeah, it was used to always be at some party for someone I never even knew. Okay. Always getting free food, dancing, stuff like that. So that's why I picked up on my dance skills. Got a lot of experience, which is one thing I do miss about my old relationship. I miss always being able to turn up. But anyways, straying off. Can't simp about the past. Can't be an incel here. But yeah, so I was unemployed, and I wanted to find a way to kind of like be like, I don't want them on my ass. Because they're always asking about my job, this and that. Yeah. I don't got a job. So her dad would do this thing with the church where once a year they would have this thing called a retreat. It was like a church retreat. But they would go to a certain spot and they would just do, I don't know, religious-based shit. I thought it was just like we have to sit there and it's like, talk about God, this and that, and how you need God in your life, whatever. So it was around that time to where that came up, and her dad was like, hey, you're not working. You have free time. You want to come on this retreat? And I'm like, oh, thank God. This is my chance. Maybe I can show this man that, the power of God. Maybe it's God's fault I'm unemployed. Maybe he's just helping me not have a job so I can go on to bigger and better things. So I was like, sure, I'll do this. And then I was like, all right, I'll sign you up. I didn't want to do this alone, so I asked one of my friends to come with me. And he said yes. Mind you, this dude's not a religious man. He's not a religious man, neither was I.
Oh, no.
Yep. So I was like, yeah, can my buddy come along? And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. The more the merrier. So we get signed up for this church retreat. And I remember I didn't tell anybody about this. I think I told my dad about it. That was about it. He's like, oh, man, it's a cult, bro. They're all gonna take advantage of you there. I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro, calm down. We get there to the church, and they have this whole kind of like line set up to where, you have to get the packet, and you have to like make sure they have your name. You get your little badge and stuff for the place. So me and my buddy get there. We get our badges on one area. Mm-hmm. Next area, they're like, empty your pockets, including your cell phone.
What?
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, shit, I gotta make one final call to my mom because my mom didn't know I was going to this shit. And then I called my mom, and she's like, hey, I need like $900 for something. I'll pay it back for you. You need to go to the bank, though. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't give you any money because I'm going on a church retreat. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me? What? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be gone for about 4 or 5 days. And she's like, all right. So I was like, all right, easy conversation. At least she knows if something happens to me, I'm on a church retreat. There's no going back now. So I turned off my phone, gave them my wallet and my phone. Everybody had to do that. We got no wallets, don't have our phones. And then we get on a bus. This bus takes us out into the desert, into the flat desert. And the bus kind of breaks down on the way over there because like the tire kind of like messed up or something going through dirt. Like we were on a dirt road for a while. So this is far away from home. We're talking like an hour and a half on a bus away from home in a desert-like terrain. No phones, no wallet. All we got is the good Lord Jesus Christ. So we finally get to the place, and it looks like the hangar map from Call of Duty. Where the airplanes are? It's like a giant airplane. Not the terminal, not the airplane terminal, but it's like an old desolate type of like airplane map.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
okay.
imagine that
Okay.
without the airplane, big ass thing there.
Just the hangers?
Just the hangar. It's just
Okay.
a giant hangar
Okay.
thing, and there's like a house behind it. For those in the audience, it's kind of like the house was in Psycho, to where it's like a house on a hill, and there's just a house there. So we get there. Oh, I forgot to leave out a certain part of the story. This was all in Spanish. This whole thing was in Spanish.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah,
Pump the
I
brakes
told you,
there.
I love Latinas, bro. I was dating a Latina at the time. So, yes, this whole thing was in Spanish. I did not know that, so I had a translator with me. This dude was a cool guy. First night's pretty cool. They're kind of talking. Mind you, like I'm the only white guy there, surrounded by a bunch of like Hispanic Latinos. I got this guy in my ear, so every time they're talking, he's like, yeah. So what they're basically saying is, you gotta accept God into your life. You gotta accept Jesus. The good Lord, our Heavenly Father. And I'm like, okay. I'm just here to not piss off my future father-in-law. So, so that night happens. They're like, okay, we're gonna wake you guys up in the morning. Make sure you get some sleep. So we all sleep in this hangar, in this airport hangar. I swear to God, I've never heard so many people rip ass and snore in my entire life, dude. I'm already kind of uncomfortable because they give you these like weird mats. They're not even like sleeping bags. They're like mats. You know those mats like in like high school gyms? Imagine those.
Oh, yeah,
but
where
just
you,
like
stretch and things like that. Okay, yeah,
just those, but like individual like mats, like
Okay.
wrestling type of mats. So I'm sleeping on that. 5 a.m. happens. Wake us up at 4 a.m. 4 or 5 a.m.
Okay.
I don't have track of time because I don't even have my fucking cell phone on me.
Right.
So time is kind of like slowly like slipping from my grasp. Like I'm in this desolate place. I don't know what's going on. For all I know, they could be saying, we're going to kill you. And this guy's saying, accept the good Lord Jesus Christ in your life. This and that. So I remember they had a bell. They're ringing this fucking cowbell. And they're like, cafe, cafe, cafe. Because, they serve coffee there.
All right.
Yep. So the whole day is kind of just basically set around like seminars around God. I don't remember a lot of it. This is just a translation to all the basic shit, like be kind to your neighbor. They went over the 10 Commandments. They didn't start fucking with our heads until about the second day. I remember this is where it kind of starts getting weird, right? I remember they had this one presenter guy who it was basically the whole theme of it was you have to keep a solid house. Like your house is your foundation for your family, and God made man to care for his family, this and that. So you have to have a stable house. So what he had us do was he made us make these houses in groups of with people. Like it was a group of 4 of us. That part, I'm like, man, we really don't have to do any translations because I'm like, you guys are good at making houses. I'll just cut the paper out. I don't mean that racially. Yeah, so we make these paper mache type of houses, and we took time into it. We're sleep deprived. We're eating fucking nothing but straight bread. And I forgot to leave that part out. We had to shit in porta potties. So imagine a bunch of middle-aged men only eating bread and beans, and you have to shit in porta potties. And what the scariest part is they left the antibacterial hand soap outside, and they left the cap unhinged, so there was bees around the soap. That sucked. I didn't even want to wash my hands, bro.
That's wild.
Yep. I'm like, well, this is before COVID, so I'm like, man, the good Lord, thank God, my hands are not too holy right now at this point in time. So, and we'll get into unholy hands later because there was another part they did that pissed me the fuck off. So we make these paper mache type of houses. I remember he's like talking about how beautiful all the houses are, all this, and he's like, yeah, this is great, that's great. And then out of nowhere, this dude fucking takes his hand and smashes one house. And he's like, something la casa, and then slams the shit. And then he starts slamming them all, and he's like, you can't be fucking up your house, this and that. He didn't say fucking up, but he's like, I messed. He was basically he went into, because every single thing, every time something would happen, they would talk about God, they would talk about some type of message, and then they would just go ape shit, like fucking savage. Basically, what happened was he said, you can't destroy your house, this and that, and be like me, because what I did was I was addicted to porn and infidelity and stuff, and he told us basically what he did was he was whacking his meat in his room one day, and then his daughter walked in, and he got pissed off at his daughter, and then kicked her out of the room, and then she fell down the stairs, and now she's like permanently like disabled. Yeah, like it goes total 180s, bro.
Whoa.
Yes. While we're sleep deprived. Now, mind you, we're sleep deprived the whole way. So like people are starting to kind of lose it. And I think that's part of the process. Like they're like sleep depriving you and they're throwing traumatic shit at you to try and like make you accept God. So I'm like, I think what also helped me is I need a translator. So like imagine somebody's like, da, 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 da. And my translator's just like, I'm tired of this. Like, you have to accept God into your life. Like, I just have a soothing voice next to me as this guy's fucking yelling. And then there was this one point in time to where this guy, there was another guy. He was talking about, like, he was doing some type of water thing. I don't know what the hell he was doing. Talking about purity, right? And then he's like, this is what porn does to you. And then this is what alcohol does to you. And then this is what infidelity, and he like pouring shit into the water to where like it's like turning different colors, and like eventually the water just turns black, and people are like crying. People have to leave because they're like getting in their emotions. I'm sleep deprived. I'm dozed off at this point. I'm just kind of like staring at the ceiling. And I remember during this part specifically because there was some motherfucker behind me. He just yells at the top of his lungs. He goes, "Solo para ti!" He yells that loud. I don't know what the fuck that even means, but I was never more scared in my entire life. I thought that was the end. That was insane. Yeah. Mind you, I still got the translator next to me. And the funny part is my friend didn't speak Spanish, but he is Hispanic. He's Mexican.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a translator. So this dude, I thought I was lost. I at least knew what was going on. This guy is just like fucking, he's just having to sit through this shit, bro. Poor guy. Those were the two experiences I remember vividly about that. Oh, yeah. Oh, there was another part where we had to sit through a fucking a video just talking about abortion. So we were just looking at just still images of just dead kids, dead babies that were like taken out of the womb. And like we were watching like abortions on camera, bro. It was fucking wild, bro. So imagine only having like 4 hours of sleep minimum each day and having to sit through this shit all day. That's wild. I did not know ahead of time that I signed up for this, but yes, this is real, folks. I am not fabricating this story when I'm saying this. And then like toward the end, they had another thing to where if you do this and that, it all kind of boils down to like if you do drugs, if you cheat on your wife, if you don't appreciate God into your life, you're gonna fucking go down a good luck. Go fuck yourself. That's what the premises of it was. And I remember they brought a coffin in. You had to go up to the coffin and confess your sins. It's like what you do too much of. And I remember one of the guys there, he was like, "Hey, do you watch porn?" In my head, I'm like thinking like, buddy, who hasn't? Like, what the fuck? This is 2018. Fuck, I got access to Pornhub whenever the fuck I want it. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, you got to go up there. You're a porn addict. I'm like, I don't watch porn all the time. But I don't think he understood me because I said it like that. I'm like, I don't watch porn all the damn time. I mean, like, I watch probably as much as the regular person, but Jesus Christ, it doesn't affect my fucking life that bad. He's like, no, you got to go up there. You're a porn addict. So I went up there.
You watch it once, you're automatically in.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not a porn addict, guy. Like, Jesus. I keep saying Jesus Christ. I don't want to offend the religious people. I don't want to say Lord's name in vain, but I'm like, I was about to say, God damn it. Jesus. No, damn it. I keep falling into it. No. Okay. So I was like, damn it. Okay, whatever. I'll do it to make you happy since apparently you caught a fucking porn addict. And said, yeah, I'm a porn addict. I'm a sleep deprived porn addict who's eaten nothing but fucking conchas and had to shit in the porta potty the last couple of days. Please forgive me, Father, for I can't shit because I'm fucking constipated.
Even with the beans, bro? Come on.
No, bro, they were overloading us with conchas. You know what conchas are, right?
No.
It's like that Mexican bread, and it has like the pink stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
yeah.
never mind. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep. So overloaded with that. So it's like, yeah, the beans did kind of flow through, but all that bread, you get constipated. Even with all the water we drank. So yeah, once we got to the final day, that was cool because it was the final day. It was a day we could leave, and it was cool. That was another thing I forgot to leave out of the story. So this is another thing that was like a mind fuck. So imagine after all the traumatizing shit that happens, right? Like, people yelling at you, all of that good stuff. They would immediately after, they would play music. They would play a song, and everybody would just dance. Like a party. Like none of it ever even happened. Like we would all go in a big dance circle, and we would all just dance after some traumatizing shit happened to us.
What the hell?
Be like, Santo, Santo. Yeah, it was crazy.
Hey, this is your celebration of making it through to the next stage. Good job.
Buddy, after that church trip, I had enough Jesus Christ for the rest of my life. After that, I feel like I'm solidified, bro. I better have my spot. I better have an RSVP Disney Fast Pass into the gates of heaven for that shit. Because, oh my God. Would I do it again? No. No, I would not. And then when I went back, I told my ex about it, and she's like, wow, you had to do all that for the girls. You know, we go to a hotel room, and, we have to go through, we go into the convention room and talk about God, this and, all that stuff. Like, they talk about the same thing, but they, they have access to water. They can do everything in a hotel. They're in a hotel room. They're in a hotel, convention area. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. This is back before you could change genders, but I wish I would have changed genders back then. I would have loved to be a she, her over a he, him, but the shit I had to deal with, bro.
What? Is this being run by the
church? Yeah. Yep. And then, at the final part of it, I learned that the people I was surrounded by, they were either ex-convicts or recovering addicts. That's another thing they left out. Yeah. Balls to the wall. This was, quite honestly, the craziest trip. I would consider that a trip because, we went by a bus. That's why I'm saying this is the craziest trip.
Are you an ex-convict, sir?
I am not an ex-convict. Apparently, I'm a porn addict. I'm not recovering from drugs or alcohol. I told you, I was simply just in a house, and my only purpose there was to get their daughter pregnant because I was unemployed.
Apparently, you're a porn addict, though.
Yeah, apparently I'm a fucking porn addict. Yeah. God. But yeah, that is my buddy. Retelling of the story. 5 years later, that is what happened. It's weird because it's like, no matter how much I tell it, I feel like the only person that would truly know the shit that I went through would be the other person who went with me. That guy. I still, to this day, don't know why he said yes, but he fucking went with me. I'm like, damn. I feel like that solidified our friendship. Now it's like, we got to take that to the grave with us. Literally. And then once we get to heaven, God's going to fucking remind us, hey, remember that retreat you took? Come through.
You have a gold pass.
Right? Get a little gold star. Yeah. Ooh. Welcome to the heaven. Welcome to the heavenly gates. Now come pray for eternity. That is my wildest travel. Sorry, God. Sorry. This dude's killing me for mocking the good Lord.
He heard you.
He heard. He did hear me.
It's coming for you.
Yep. But yeah. No, that is what I'm gonna end off on with that. Wild experience, bro. I think I opened up some past trauma.
That takes the cake.
But I did. I wasn't the dad's good graces because not even his own kids went. I was the first male out of all of his, immediate family that actually went to that thing. So I garnered his respect and got a job shortly after.
I don't blame him.
Got a job shortly after because I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this again. And that's probably the one thing I got from that. There's people there that were like, I came back from that retreat and I got off drugs, or, I came off that retreat. I'm closer to God. Now I won't beat my glizzy every day. Me, it was like, I came back from that retreat and now I'm getting a fucking job because I'm not going through that shit again.
Never again.
Yeah, never again.
I need that excuse that I'm too busy.
Yep. Exactly. That is exactly why. I think that's exactly why I fucking still have a job to this day, because it's like, yeah, you're just too busy, bro. Too busy. But regardless, if you're always still busy, we're going to end on that note. If you're always still busy, make sure you take PTO. Everybody needs a good vacation here and there. Get your mind off of shit.
Go enjoy the world.
Enjoy the world.
It's a big planet. There's a lot to see.
It's a very big planet. You got places like Milan. You got places like Las Vegas. And you got places like the middle of buttfuck nowhere Call of Duty hangars to do retreats on.
Or you could be in Venice.
Right. Yeah. Or you can be in Venice.